Hey everybody, I am back to a plan for the week of February 22nd through the 28th. I actually did this base off camera. I started to do this base on camera, but I actually failed miserably. This was after coming back from a pretty long break of planning, so I just scrapped it. So I used, I think, the October mystery kit from Caress Press with gold foil. This was me and my husband's dating anniversary, and movies are really important to us, so this is like an outdoor movie theme, and I use gold foil. I will link everything below, but I used Caress Press, some Scribble Prints Co., and yeah, I really like the way that this spread turned out, or that this base turned out. Sadly, my cats actually got moisture on these inserts, so it is all lumpy and bumpy and not very pretty. This also happened to be the week that my dad passed away, so yeah, so we're just gonna get right into planning for this week. Okay, so I had to take my husband to work, so I put a foiled car icon on the top. I had to start this video 3 times to get it right because I totally forgot that I'm color blocking. So I'm using a little thing putting for the fact that my daughter was homesick from school. So I'm going to put that there. I did spend, this was my visiting day with my dad. So I spent the first half of the morning with him. I went up as soon as visiting hour started and just hung out with him, watched TV. He ate breakfast, just hung out. And then before, I did split up my visit into 2 parts. So before I left, the his like doctor, or she's actually a nurse practitioner, wanted to speak with me before I left. So I talked with her for a moment. So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna cut this actually to make it just a hair smaller. She had some questions and concerns from me, so she wanted to talk with me about some things. And then, like I said, I split my visit up into 2 parts because I kind of get a little anxious with everything, and I was kind of a little overwhelmed after the talk with her, so I split up my visit. So for my daughter being home from school sick, I used the Stick with the Plan Co. girl, sick girl, but I cut her a little bit because she's very big. Then for my visit with my dad, I'm using this Vanilla with a Mask script or sticker. And then for talking with his doctor, I have this doctor sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I'm just gonna layer this foiled stethoscope over top of it because I think it looks cute. Then for the afternoon, like lunchtime and stuff, I ended up going and getting myself a tea from my favorite place. So I wanted to note that in there. Like, weirdly having trouble with this Caress Press kit with like sizing, like needing boxes. Okay, so I'm gonna use a little thing for that. Perfect. Then next, I did have my nail appointment that day. So I went and did that. Just gonna use this 3rd or quarter box here. I always call these 3rd boxes, but they're technically, I think, quarter boxes. Then I did cook. That was exciting. So for that, I'm just going to use one of these from the matte label sampler from, this was in a wiggle from SPC. I'm going to do that last actually. And then I went to bed early, which was very unlike me, but I surely did go to bed early. So I'm going to use a fancy label for that. So put that knife and fork down now, layer it over top. I also forgot to put my Kenzie script, so I'm going to just stick that in there. So for getting tea, I did make myself some tea stickers. I actually have to cut a little piece of sticker for this little thing. Yeah, but I made myself these cute tea stickers because they look, I couldn't find really any like generic drink stickers. So I made myself a bunch of colors. I'm just using the gray one in this because I thought all the other ones were kind of too bright for this. Then for my nail appointment, I have the Coffee Monsters Co. little nail polish. And my nail appointment from Kenzie's Creations. Then we have the Vanilla, I think that's from the Exhausted sheet, and a Kenzie Creation Bed Early script. Ugh, and I folded it. I always like fold the corners, like when I go to pick them up. It's so annoying. It irritates me. Okay. So I know I have a cook script. So I'm just gonna grab it. I don't know why I didn't get it out. It's another Kenzie's. Okay. Put that in there. We are good to go. So then on for Tuesday, like I said, I tried to start filming Monday like 3 times and I didn't color block the first time and I was so irritated with myself. So for taking my husband to work, again, we're going to do the same thing as yesterday, car icon. And then I had quite a bunch of homework to get done, so I spent a good half of that morning attached to homework. Use a box for that. And then I had a quiz in my social work class. So for that, I'm going to use push this down a little bit. There we go. And for my social work quiz, put a piece of washi. God, you can't even see it. So for my homework session, I'm gonna use this Coffee Monsters Co. little sweating at the computer. And then my homework bitch script. And then for my quiz, I just have the foiled computer icon from SPC. And then a little quiz script. All right, for the second half of the day, I did need to be on a call with, after my visit yesterday, my dad, after talking with like the doctors and everything, they agreed that it would be good for him to come home on hospice. So we did that. I needed to be there for that call. I couldn't be at the hospital, but I was present on the phone. Then I put that down a little bit because I actually got breakfast from McDonald's. So this is kind of out of order, but we'll be fine. And then for the hospice appointment, I'm just going to use one of the appointment labels. And then I did upload a plan with me that night. I have like, I'm running out of box options. I'm going to just use a flag for that. All right, perfect. So for the hospice call, I'm going to use this paper and milk little cell phone sticker and the call script from SPC. Oh God, I did that backwards. Oh well, I'm not redoing it. So for McDonald's, I'm just going to use this little Sugar Box Stickers little breakfast sandwich. And then for uploading a video, I'm going to use the Once More with Love upload with the upload script from SPC. We don't turn back, people. So for Wednesday morning, I did need to visit my dad that morning in the hospital, so I'm just going to use this little heart icon from the matte white sheet with the gold foil from SPC. Then, because I needed to be at my dad's house, he was actually being released from the hospital that day, so I needed to be at his house for the hospice. So I'm going to use this little squared box there. And then so my daughter had to actually watch my nephew that day for me. And then we had tacos for lunch. So I'm going to mark that, because when do you not mark tacos in your planner? I mean, come on, people. All right. So I have this Stick with the Plan Co. girl holding the crying baby, because towards the end of my daughter watching my nephew, my husband had to go over there and help because she was not having a great time. So Mackenzie script, and then the tacos for lunch. I have another Stick with the Plan, not Stick with the Plan Co. Sugar Box Stickers. This is from her Taco Bell sheet. And I'm going to layer the foiled knife and fork over that, because I just like the way that it looks. It gives it a little something extra. I like it. Okay, so then for the hospice setup, I'm going to just use this little fancy label. And then my dad came home. I'm going to use a little thing. He was not real happy coming home because he had to be transported home, and they took forever to transport him. And then we ended up, after getting everything squared away, as a thank you to my daughter for watching my nephew, we ended up taking her to the mall. And then finally, I was a bit in my feels once we got home. It was just, I think, the stress of the day, a lot going on, a lot of information, lots of changes. You know, when stuff like that happens, I don't know. Not like anybody's ever prepared for that to happen and to be ready to deal with that, but you know, being an only child, and I'm not young, but being younger, it's a lot on me, and especially with my anxiety and things. So for the hospice setup, I'm just using this little nurse. For my dad being home, I'm using the foiled little house from SPC. Then going to the mall, I did this backwards. Yeah, but like nobody's ever prepared. But I think it was just extra draining for me. But thankfully my husband was off the day of the hospice setup, and he's dealt with hospice before, so he was very helpful. But so for in my feels, I just have this Once More with Love, a little crying in the puddle. Then we go on to Thursday. So for Thursday, I did take I think I had to take my husband to work. So I did have a little bit of time between when I was needed at my dad's and when I took my husband to work, because we were kind of on shifts. So I did take a nap. I'm just going to use a little strip of washi for that. I did need to call and reschedule an appointment that I had set up for Mackenzie for her therapy. And I think I'm going to need a little strip of this washi to cover the icon on the little thing. That really did nothing, but it'll be fine. So I'm gonna put that in there. Then to my surprise, when I got to my dad's, he was up and he was sitting in his chair, watching one of his favorite shows. So I was very surprised and excited to see that when I got there. So I'll put that in there. It's kind of being a little trigger. So for my nap that morning, I'm just going to use this little Sweet Fox Papery. She's no longer open. The other side though. For that, I thought the colors worked well with the nap script from SPC. For calling and rescheduling my daughter's appointment, I just have the little foiled phone icon. Then for my dad being up, I have one of the happy from Once More with Love. Then we go to later in the day, like later in the day, when it was like getting close to time for his medicine, he was not doing so great. He was kind of in pain, and you know, was starting to get a little bit agitated from the pain. So he ended up going back into bed a little early. So that, and then I did homework the rest of the night after it was my turn to go home and sleep that night. So for that, I'm just trying to think. I don't have like any good boxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a flag. And then a piece of washi, because Dad did not have a good night that night. So I will put that there. Okay, so for him being agitated, I have this Once More with Love little head. Then for homework, I have this Stick with the Plan, Co-Girl, Dreaming of the Bed, and my homework script from SPC in gold. And then I don't really have, I'll pick something out later for that. So we are going to go on to Friday. So Friday was payday. So I'm going to mark that with just some washi. And then, God, wow, crooked. So then I did have to take my husband to work. Just gonna put this in there. Okay, so then next I did, before I headed over to my dad's, I did have to run into Walmart because I didn't know how many days I was going to be there, and I needed something to assist and aid in homework. So I went and got a keyboard for my iPad. Alright, layered that, so put the icon back down. And then he was in a lot of pain. It was very hard to manage throughout the day, and we were just kind of waiting on nurses to come and kind of assess him to be able to do more for him. He was suffering from terminal restlessness, so just gonna put this little Sweating Coffee Monsters Co. There. And then, okay, sorry. So like I said, he was dealing with the restlessness, so we had a lot of time that we were waiting just kind of on answers, or like people to come by to assess him and things like that. So Then kind of once one of the doctors or the nurses came from hospice and said that he was going to be transitioning into the, I forget what they call it, but it's during like the active stage of when they're actively dying. So I went ahead and called a couple of my dad's friends, like his closest friends, and my mom and my daughter was with my mom, so I called them to just, you know, see if they wanted to come by and before it was too late or whatnot. My dad was able to see his his two best friends came by, but he did not, by the time my daughter and my mom came, he was no longer lucid for them, which was unfortunate. But I don't know really personally, like, I don't know if my daughter would have preferred either way, I don't know. But as a mom, I've let her make the decision if she wanted to come and be with him, but I didn't force her to do anything and whatnot. So they were able to do that. His older sister came by and was there for a bit that night. And then after everybody, well, for most of the day anyways, I just kind of spent a lot of time next to him, holding his hand, rubbing him, you know, back and forth with medicine and things like that. So I'm marking that with just a little gold heart. And then he did pass away at 11:50 that evening. So just using this Once More with Love. I didn't really know what icon you'd put for that, but so then on to Saturday, like the wee hours in the morning on Saturday were spent waiting for the funeral home and whatnot. So I just kind of waited there and did those few things. And then I did go home and try to get a little bit of rest. And then we met at the funeral home for arrangements at about 2:30 that day, so I'm gonna put that in there as well. Okay, so for trying to get some sleep, I'm just using this Once More with Love. It's from the insomnia sheet, actually. So I'm going to put that there. Then for the meeting at the funeral home, I'm just using the foiled clock icon. Then I did need to go out and try to scout out and see if I could find myself a dress. So after the appointment, we actually drove by the gravesite first just to kind of see how, because he was actually being buried with my grandparents, so we needed to go check that out first, just make sure everything was fine for that we could actually he could actually be buried there. So I'm just gonna leave a little spot for that. And then I needed to go shop to find a dress. I'm just gonna use this little foiled bag icon from the Wiggle. Then We went to one of my favorite places to eat and got dinner. And then we went over and just hung out at my mom's for a little bit. It's nice. Made me, we laughed a little bit. Just kind of hung out with her. I'm gonna cut this half box down just a hair because I want it to fit in here, but I don't need the whole half box. Shoot. God. It looks, I'm gonna have to cut like a little bit of it off. Okay. There we go. So for me, getting one of my favorite restaurants is called Oh Boy. They have these amazing burgers. I'm gonna use the Once More with Love little burger munchkin for the family time. With my mom, I'm just gonna use this little hugging family with a little family time script. And I do not know what shop that's from, but it's a little foiled family time script. Then now on for Sunday. I slept in that morning. So put that down there. Then it was my 1-year dating anniversary with my husband. Make sure I put that in there. So for sleeping in, I'm going to use this little Sweet Stuffy Dreams from the Coffee Monsters Co. and the Sleep In script. I'm actually going to cut this in half from SPC. Oh God. I don't know where it went. Oh, here. I hate that. So this foiled Sleep In script. And then for our 1-year dating anniversary, I'm gonna use this little, this is a printable that I got of a couple. Thought it was super cute holding hands. And then we ended up spending the day hanging out as a family. We went to the mall because I was kind of looking for a necklace or some kind of accessory to go with my dress. So we did that. Then we ate Cane's for dinner. It's become, like, slowly become one of our favorite places to eat as a family. Like, my daughter really loves it too, which sometimes you really just cannot get her to eat things. And then after that, we came home and I worked more on my dad's picture board. And I had some White Claws because it just was necessary. Not really, but so I'm actually gonna do this because I actually binged Good Girls too, so I'm gonna try to fix that. Okay, my apologies. So for the mall, I just have this little Coffee Monsters cup with the shopping bags, and I have this Family Day script, and I think this is from a Happy Planner sticker book. Then for Cane's for dinner, just using the gold foiled icon, the knife and fork. Then for doing pictures and my White Claw, I just have the little can from the Wiggle from SPC. And then for watching Good Girls, I have this Once More with Love little on the couch watching TV. So I'm gonna fill this out and I will be right back. Okay, so here it is all done and filled out. It was a good week because I was together with my love for a year, but it was a bad week. The worst week, losing my dad. So hope you guys enjoyed this plan with me, and I will see you guys in my next one. I won't be actually planning next week's on camera, but I will be back after that with a new spread. Talk to you guys soon.